Hey guys, what's up? BC coming back at you guys with yet another episode of TV with BC. Very long hiatus. I very much apologize for this, but we are finally back. Things are back on track. I am in a new apartment. A lot has happened. You've seen a lot of my update videos and such. And here we go. This is episode 10, and I feel this is something that we have not discussed on this show for a very, very long time. And it's basically, at this point, it was obvious that we were going to get to this at some point. What am I talking about? Transformers Prime. Joining me from left to right, I have my good buddy and my partner in crime, Mr. Aladar.
Nini Bong.
And a newcomer to the BC channel, we have Thrust Decon.
Hey. You're forgetting somebody.
TFA 1024 may end up showing up soon. We do not know as of yet when he will be coming in, but all I know is that we will be expecting him soon-ish, give or take.
Sure, blow over the little guy.
Fuck off, Starscream. This is my show. So, anyways, with that said,
Screamer, get out of here.
we are talking about Transformers Prime, and what better way to do it than to basically start it off with what I feel is the most appropriate way to talk about this series. That being starting off at first with the toy line. Transformers Prime was first introduced as the first edition line. This was our very first look at some of these designs as in their toy form. And there was a lot of hope and a lot of potential for this series, and then the new budget kicked in. The only thing that truly saved these toys was the fact that these toys had such solid character backgrounds behind them.
Although some toys didn't escape that problem, regardless.
Yeah, and one of those was definitely Knockout. Like, let's just say that. I'm just gonna say that flat out. As great as much as I love the Knockout figure, he could have been better.
Actually, I meant Arachnid.
I was trying to avoid that, you jackass.
You dumb goofed.
I know I'm a jackass. I am proud of it. Anywho, I think I should mention to new viewers, you guys might know me from the BC Builds videos as of late.
Yes! It's this crazy son of a bitch that has been making it very fun to do as of late, which I will be getting back to BC Builds very soon. I do intend to pick up the rest of the sets.
But I am a new person, literally.
Yeah, he's just here.
I'm a supposed to be rising YouTuber of the averageness, but, you know, who's got the money? Not this guy.
He's my cousin's aunt's brother's sister.
No, I'm not.
So anyways, finally, you know, the toy line, there were hits, there were misses, but either way, they had a really good show to back them up, essentially. So with that, let's move on and actually talk about what we need to talk about, and that is the show itself. Starting, of course, at the very beginning. The very beginning. With the very first season, the first episode, it started off extremely fucking dark.
Cliff Jumper died in the first 10 minutes, come on.
The very first 10 minutes of the first episode, Cliff Jumper dies.
Little known fact, that Cliff Jumper's voice for the first, I don't know how many episodes was that, 3 episodes, I don't know, was voiced by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
I've known this.
I don't know. I'm saying that to the audience. Anywho.
Yeah, with that said, let's move on. The very first first two characters we're introduced to are Cliffjumper and RC. Apparently, these two were partners before, and then Cliffjumper ends up getting an Energon signature. He goes to investigate it, and he's jumped by a bunch of Viacons. Brought to Starscream, which then Starscream proceeded to stab him right in the fucking chest.
With his own fingers.
Let's not forget that he went down valiantly. Kind of.
So that's one way to fist somebody. Or, you know, the 1-inch fist. Get it?
Or, you know, the 1-inch claw.
Because it might be anyways. He stabs Cliffjumper in the chest, which succeeds to kill him, which I don't see how that killed him. If the spark is supposed to be dead center, how did stabbing him there kill him? That made no sense to me.
TV logic.
Could be a Cybertronian artery.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I don't know. Just sheer logic kicked in right there. I'm like, wait, if he didn't get stabbed in the spark, why did he die? Like, when Dreadwing in season 2 died, it made sense how he died.
Yeah, he got a giant hole blasted through him.
Exactly.
Spoiler for those newcomers.
When he got shot, his whole fucking chest was like.
Oh, and let me just say this right now, just in case any newcomers of the Transformers generation coming in, spoilers alert. Spoilers alert.
I think they're aware of this.
Yeah, I think they're aware of this. They wouldn't click on this video if they didn't want to be spoiled. Which, at this point, come on, y'all. You live under a rock?
Okay.
Anyways, moving on. The overall make and feel of the video, I almost said video. The overall make and feel of the show, they went for an extremely dark tone.
Beast Wars.
Yeah, it felt a lot like Beast Wars.
There were some light episodes, there were some really dark ones.
Yeah, while Beast Wars definitely had those moments where it got light, it was lessened with Transformers Prime, let's just say that.
Don't even get me started on the kids.
Oh god, don't even get me started on the kids. Okay, let's start off with things I didn't like. 1, Migo.
She was more tolerable for me when she got the Apex armor.
2, Cliffjumper. Why? Such a great character.
Why kill Cliffy J?
Yeah, why kill off CJ? Why? Why? Why?
They use Star Trek logic.
Because you're an ass.
Really?
You are.
Yeah, no. Shut up. Anyway, I was actually more like thinking. I think they were trying to take more of a sidestep into it, because usually from last Transformers shows they showed, no one really died. No one on the good side, like, died in the first episode. In this episode, they're trying to show that, hey, this was an entirely different show. Things will be very different from this point on.
Nobody's safe.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Even though technically throughout most of the series everyone was.
Except for the Viacons.
Yeah. The poor stormtroopers.
Why don't I tell you about the Star Wars jokes?
That one slipped and I apologize, but you know I'm right.
Yeah, unfortunately. Well, you know what? I'm going to end the jokes here and now with the ultimate one. A stormtrooper fires and misses every shot, but the red shirt died anyway.
The funny thing is, I've heard that before in a little place of mine called Honey Cakes.
So, with that said, moving on. I really didn't like the fact that the killed off Cliffjumper so fucking quick when they could have utilized him.
There was so much more potential to that instead of, oh no, I'm dead, and all of a sudden, hey, what are you doing in my body?
Exactly.
And making RC a psycho killer bitch bot.
Yeah, it's just. Oh.
Never.
3. I will admit the first season was really lackluster when it came to build up. They really didn't build up to much.
Yeah.
They really didn't start giving you something interesting until the first season was slowly starting to come to a close. That's when the show, like, it was still good. It explored a lot of great stories, but it wasn't doing anything with them at first. And then you get to the Unicron arc, and that's when the whole show just took off from there.
It also went very dark too.
Yeah, that was a very dark moment right there. Because, like, come on, you're seeing a giant Unicron thingamabobber getting shot through the face.
What's even
And then
stranger was that. Sorry, continue.
All those freaking stone Unicrons getting taken down by the Autobots and Megatron.
Yeah, that's where you really kind of realize how serious the situation is. The Autobots were forced to team up with Megatron.
Not all of the Decepticons, just Megatron.
Exactly. Although, let's be honest, that one moment where we got to see Soundwave put Arachnid in her little place, dear Lord, that was epic.
So was the fight where Optimus and Megatron were teamed up against Unicron's antibodies. That was just awesome.
Yeah. The one thing that's also a really good surprise, and actually it's somewhat of a different side plot, that Unicron is actually the planet Earth, pretty much.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Which is also exciting because all they did was just put Unicron back to sleep. At any point in time while they're back at Cybertron, Unicron can still wake up. It's just determines when he's going to wake up.
It's best not to think about this kind of thing.
I mean, it could happen. Oh, sorry.
Oh, trust me, I know it could happen. I'm just saying it's best not to really think about it.
Yeah, and once the Unicron arc ended, they went into something that I felt really wasn't done before, as far as I've seen. Hold that thought.
What's going on?
Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. I guess
They
PC will
brought-
take a break for a second. What?
They brought in Orion Pax. They brought Optimus's Orion Pax in, and they gave him a really interesting backstory, having been friends with Megatron prior to the war.
Well, I mean, when they did that, that's actually kind of following the actual lore that they had in the IDW comic line, or whatever the comic line was back then. Because it was true that Optimus Prime or Orion Pax was friends with Megatron, but they weren't exactly seeing eye to eye with each other. I mean, one was literally a librarian, one who studied the archives and hold the intelligence of all the 13 primes had in store. And with and you have Megatron, or Megatronus, who at first did not even have a name and fought in the gladiatorial arenas.
He was arrogant enough to name himself after one of the 13 primes, and the one that betrayed them nonetheless.
Actually, the funny thing is, he actually, in the comic line, even though this has nothing to do with Prime, but in the comic line, instead of him naming himself Megatronus, the crowd were shouting Megatronus at him. So he dubbed it that way because the crowd saw him as Megatronus.
Yeah, yeah. Originally, based off what we saw in Exodus, he had already deemed himself Megatronus, but when he was listening to the chant, while they were saying Megatronus, it was coming off as Megatron. So therefore, as Shaka was patching him up, calling him Megatronus, he said, "No, my name is Megatron." No, you heard me. My name is Megatron. He's trying to set that shit in stone. Like, no, dude, I'm Megatron now. I'm not arguing.
Right in my certificate. My name is Megatron now, motherfucker.
Your name is not Megatron. Get out of here, Screamer.
Get the fuck out. I'm gonna kick you right into the next Sunday.
He gets abused no matter what.
He's like I'm guessing he's like an MGO reject. Sorry, MGO, I love you. If you're watching this, MGO, I'm sorry. I love you.
Oh, we don't do kiss-assery.
I'm not really kiss ass. I mean, he's the guy, as far as I know, he's one of the few people I can respect doing common writer stuff. Anywho, back onto the actual track of this subject.
Yes, C-3PO.
Prime.
Yes.
I think BT's distracted.
They got into an arc where when Optimus used the Matrix to basically seal away Unicron, things got a little interesting, to say the least. Because apparently he reverted to his pre-Prime status, which was Orion Pax. Megatron took advantage of this and brought him aboard the Nemesis. And having him decrypt... Oh, what was it called? The
Iacon records.
The Iacon database. That's what it was called.
Yeah.
Which
Let's just say, other than the Shattered Glass Dimension, no one's ever going to see Optimus Prime wear a Decepticon symbol ever again.
Shattered Glass Autobots didn't have Decepticon symbols. Those were purple Autobots.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm drunk. Not really.
I am.
What did I tell you about that?
What? I just stated that I'm a little drunk.
Oh, jeez. Anyways, moving on. Megatron proceeds to use this amnesia to his advantage, but then naturally, Orion Pax is good at uncovering the truth. So eventually he started to question everything Megatron was telling him, which led him to basically spin around and say, "I will not follow you because I know you're up to no good."
Plus, he did discover discover his true identity as a Prime.
Yeah. Thanks to Starscream of all people.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot to mention, somewhere in Season 1, Starscream left the Decepticons.
Yeah. Well,
That's more like abandoned and decided to be searched for and hunted down. No, sir, that's the same thing. But yeah.
So anyway, Streamer returned to the Nemesis looking for Energon, and he accidentally revealed it to Prime, or Pax.
Yes,
Yes.
because Starscream is a little bitch like that.
A little bit and an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. And he
Excuse me, but I helped the Autobots there.
shut
Shut
up.
up, Starscream. Get out of here. Reject.
Anyway, while he's walking up sulking,
Good, he deserves a soul. Yes, anyway, but let's also not forget to mention that Starscream, while he has at one point in time during season 1, yes, that he was captured by the Autobots thanks to erected eluding him to the Autobots. Because during season 1, I think weren't they all like during going on like a scavenger hunt?
No,
that
season
was
2.
mostly through season 2.
Oh, that's right. Like season one had that one moment of a scavenger hunt where Arachnid found like some sort of staff of freezing, basically.
The Immobilizer.
Yeah.
But basically, season 2 was the search for the cyber keys all over again.
Yeah. Keys and artifacts.
They put an interesting spin on it sometimes, but it was pretty much the search for the cyber keys or the mini-cons.
Yeah.
Take your pick.
One of the two. You know, that's also surprising. In almost every show, they at least show one minicon. In this show, they haven't showed one.
They made up for it with Fix It. Yeah, they made up for it with Fix It and RID, but that's a topic for another day.
Yeah, but that's RID. We're not talking about Prime, though. That's the difference.
Got a point, yeah.
I was saying they made up for the lack of mini-cons in Prime.
I get that. I get
Fix
that.
It.
Did Transformers Prime ever have minicons?
No,
Uh-uh.
not a single one. It was all Viacons, Insecticons, Predacons.
Wait, would Laserbeak count as a mini-con or a drone?
Drone.
Yeah, I was gonna say drone. Because he's mostly used for like savage punches or spy missions, mostly.
Yeah.
And getting bombs implanted in them.
Yeah.
It was
Way to
strange.
go, Beaker.
It was really strange though. No one, I bet no one at first, when they were first seeing Soundwave, it's thing jump out of his chest. No one was really thinking, Laserbeak, go get him. They were thinking, what the fuck was that? Am I right? Wrong? Okay.
Yep.
Head to the tail end of season 2. Smokescreen comes in.
And Ultra Magnus.
No,
No,
Magnus
he's-
wasn't in yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
it was in the beginning of season 3.
No.
We got Smokescreen, we got the Star Saber.
And the was the Hammer of Souls Prime.
Yeah, the Forge.
The Forge of Souls
Okay.
Prime. There are so many freaking weapons that they introduced in this series. Like the Polarity Gauntlet,
Uh-huh.
the Phase Shifter, Arc Extractor, the Apex Armor. Oh my god.
Seeing RC use that was awesome.
Yeah.
Not just awesome. What if someone were to put a protoform, like a straight up not done anything with protoform, shoved it into Apex armor, activated the protoform, and gave it both the forge and the polarity gauntlet.
They wouldn't be able to use the forge.
Yeah, that
But
just.
you can still use that as a hammer.
Valid point, but they would not be able to use it for its intended use.
Yeah. That's still my point. Still is that it's still that would be uberly powerful.
Something I think should be noted, a lot of Prime's inspiration came from Transformers Animated.
Yeah. Although I didn't give a damn about animated, because really, who did?
I did. Anyway, we got the Star Saber, we got the Dark Saber.
The Dark Saber was kind of
Created at the time.
not. When I really started thinking about it, that felt
Forced.
forced. Yeah.
We got Megatron desecrating Prime's graves.
Yeah. Was he technically the first Transformer grave robber?
Yeah. He was first. Yeah, that was Grave Robber.
Him and Dreadwing.
Yeah.
Dreadwing became the Armada Starscream Beast Wars Dinobot of the series, sort of.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, let's not forget. That's not the only time Megatron desecrated a holy land. Remember the first zombie scene where he flies up to it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Megatron's just an overall desecrator in this series.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
Yeah, he.
I mean, like, yeah. Let's also keep on thinking about that. He described the one on Earth and all of Cybertron, not just the Prime one, but all of it. When he threw that huge chunk of dark energon through the space bridge and onto Cybertron, he desecrated not just a tomb. He ruined the entire planet.
So he figured just add grave robbing to whatever already racked up.
Yeah.
You know what I want to know?
What?
Why didn't having a different arm in bot mode affect his jet mode?
No, that actually makes sense. How come it didn't affect him? Because he had just one red arm out of his silver entire body.
Because he's Megatron?
He didn't have his fusion cannon in bot mode, he still had it in his vehicle mode. That kind of makes no sense.
TV logic.
TV and or anime logic.
Hey, if he gets to question how Cliffjumper died, I get to question the Megatron thing.
Was I denying you your right to question it?
Seemed like it. But anyway, moving on. At the end of Season 2, we also got something really cool, which is a throwback to my favorite series, the Omega Lock.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That was a pretty cool throwback.
I actually had no idea that was a
Cyber.
throwback.
You never saw Cybertron, did you?
I saw it, but as my memory is not as well as the elephant's.
It kind of had the same function as it did in Cybertron, but at the same time it was entirely different. But basically, Optimus destroys the Omega Lock, dooming Cybertron.
Yes.
Ratchet's pissed at him.
Oh, sorry, but I really hated Ratchet in that moment. He was such a disrespectful little prick in that moment.
Yeah. Even though we got to give props to the performance of how much emotion Jeffrey Combs put across.
Yeah. It's like,
come
on, man.
He was a bit arrogant.
Yeah, that, like, just come on, man. You sound. Not only are you arrogant, you're being selfish right now.
But at the same time, major props to putting so much emotion into it to Jeffrey Combs.
You know, it's funny. There's also one more throwback to what's the word? To the old stuff. Remember when they were talking about when Bumblebee switched his colors from yellow and black to black and yellow?
Yeah,
Yep.
RC mentioned she'd be pink. That's a throwback to Generation 1.
Yeah.
Yep.
Generation 1 and animated.
Speaking of that, end of Season 2, it looks like Optimus is dead.
Oh no.
Oh my god, no. Really, guys? You knew this was going to happen. Come on.
You'll notice. You've all seen the shows. Right? Right. Okay.
There's barely ever a series where Optimus doesn't die. The only one I know of that he hasn't died in yet is the original RID.
Yeah. He hasn't died at all.
And I'm talking back in '01, the car robot stuff.
Yeah. With
Way back when.
Cyber X Brawn and Prowl.
Uh-huh. But
Anyway,
wait, Optimus is alive because we find out in Season 3 Smokescreen came back with the phase shifter and saved them.
Yep. But
yeah, but
he's also
yeah.
dying.
And he did die for 10 seconds.
Yes, by technicality, he died for 10 seconds.
And then Smokey used the force on him.
I had very mixed feelings about that.
I thought
Yeah.
it was pretty cool. I would have liked to see Smokescreen as a Prime, but at the same time, I like what we got with Heat Prime.
Yeah, but last I checked, the force was supposed to be used for only materials. Does that mean that they're all materials at that point?
Yes. They are, in
We
fact,
also got,
metal.
we also got the introduction of Ultra Magnus.
Yes, yes. And a ship, the Wheeljacks, which was blown up.
Oh dear lord, that freaking upgrade on Optimus.
We
I
got
like how when
Upgrade
that,
was badass, but you know what? They also managed to make a subtle video game reference.
how so?
When he flies in and starts duking it out with Megatron for like that split second, when he went to throw that uppercut, and he kind of jumped in the air when he did it. Sure, you can.
Nice.
well, I was going to say, it was
Sorry,
more. Let's also keep in mind after that reveal of it. Hey, we have another person joining us.
Hello, TFA.
Hello. Say it's always
Hello.
be here when it's yours.
We have TFA 1024. Go ahead and say hello, buddy.
What's going on, guys? TFA 1024, the Transformers Addict, here on my first appearance of TV with BC.
Ooh, yay.
No, we are talking about Transformers Prime.
This is a topic I can get down with. So, can someone fill me in on what has been established so far?
We're on Season 3.
We're just kind of talking about things we did like, things we didn't like, things we would have done better, and things that we thought was just absolutely perfect.
God, you covered that much already?
I'm going to say
Here and there.
I'm going to say this. Why breakdown? Why?
Wait, what?
Why breakdown?
Why? The only Stunticon in the entire series. Why?
Well, not really a confirmed Stunticon, but yeah, nonetheless.
Yeah, like just
I was mad. Extremely. When I found out that Arachnid killed him. I'm just sitting here like...
Sounds good.
Bulk's enemy. The only arch enemy we really have, aside from Bumblebee and Knockout, well, RC and Knockout as well, because they had a thing, until Arachnid showed up. And of course we got Optimus and Megatron. Then we had Smokescreen and Soundwave. I mean, everyone was pretty much everyone's arch enemy. But Breakdown was overall one of my all-time favorite Decepticons in that series, just because I like how it was a very different portrayal of him. Whereas instead of he was like kind of the
Instead of being a shit, he was this big, burly bruiser brawler that did not mind tussling around with
And
an
how can we not like him, especially after his debut in episode 10 of season 1, Deus Ex Machina? That had to be one of the most badass entrances I have seen for a Decepticon.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to agree there.
Yeah.
Breakdown's intro was bad fucking ass.
And the first thing you hear coming out of his mouth is just, or even dumber than he looks. And then they just pan over to him, and he's like doing a little. And then we have an establishment where Breakdown knew Bulkhead in the past, and, it was really cool. And then he just grabs this giant, colossal column and just chucks it at him.
You see, here's my problem with that. They mentioned that those two have a history. What was the history?
We never got to see.
Yeah, or hear, or read about it.
No, there was no references at all to.
Yeah, and apparently the only real reference to what went down in the past was on War Breakdown's bio on his toy.
And
What does it
honestly,
say?
Bulkhead mentioned that he was in construction during, before the war. And it would make sense because, he does have giant, wrecking balls and such, so maybe he was probably on a demolition team. Maybe Breakdown was on the same team because he did have hammers.
No, I just thought of something.
What?
Yeah, you know what? Now, once you put it in that perspective, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Like, maybe it's something from, like, when
Maybe
they
they
were...
Maybe in this universe, or that universe anyway, they were Constructicons instead of Breakdown being usually the Stunticon and Bulkhead being the Bulkhead.
Well, Breakdown wasn't essentially tagged in this portrayal of his character as a Stunticon. He was just this giant bruiser.
I know, but it makes sense though. Like if they were tagged as a.
I mean, I can see where you're going with. I can see where you have that thought. I'm just saying, in my personal opinion, I don't. Yeah. I just want to say they were both on construction teams because back in Predacons Rising, we got to see Bulkhead actually, direct a construction of like a large tower with the Viacons, and I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I had a thought.
Yeah.
What if they were both wreckers too?
That
would work.
Ooh.
That would be interesting. Yes, definitely.
This is just a Transformers fan theory here. What if Breakdown was essentially Roadbuster?
Ooh.
He has the shoulder cannon. He has the shoulder cannon just like Roadbuster did. So maybe during the War for Cybertron, Roadbuster was killed in action. Megatron ordered Shockwave and his scientists to rebuild him into like this giant super soldier.
Yeah, but why would Bulkhead hate Breakdown at this point then?
Because maybe he's entirely, hurt to see possibly what his... I'm just saying, again, it's just a theory. It's not anything set in stone.
I know, but let me say this. Let's connect your theory. Instead of him being proclaimed he died, he betrayed him and reformatted it into Breakdown.
Dark.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, maybe. I could definitely see that, but getting into this fan debate later on, offset.
Yeah.
Let's move on, and let's just talk about Knockout for a minute. My God, who
did favorite of the series? I loved him.
Love Knockout.
I loved him. I absolutely loved him.
I think he could have done a little bit better, but yeah, he was cool. Because I mean, when he first appeared, like in his first ever fighting scene, look at him. He was a freaking badass.
Yeah, that's true.
Josh, check
he was a badass.
Messages.
After that, he just somehow turned wimpy a little bit. I mean, I love the character. Don't get me wrong. It's just what happened.
Darren Norris portrayed him perfectly.
Yeah.
And not only that, it was really cool to see. It was really cool to see that we have this Decepticon who's like essentially a bad version of Sunstreaker. Like how he's so vain about his appearance, the tiniest scratch from like the biggest injuries on him.
Oh yeah.
Like when he got pissed off in Tunnel Vision, season 2. I want to say season 2, episode 13, maybe. I don't know. But whenever
Yes,
whenever he had that train run into him twice. He
That
was pissed. Like, he wanted to kill them both so
He
bad.
cried like a little bitch about the whole thing. It was the most hysterical thing I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget.
But you can't help but feel bad for him. I mean,
Yeah, because he always shit on.
It's like the poor guy just can't seem to catch
he
a break.
can't win. Like, there was a time in the series, I can't remember what it was called. It was whenever he had the resonance blaster. I can't remember the name of the episode.
I know which episode you're talking about, but
I think it's Tough Knox. I think it's Tough Knox. That's what it was called.
Yeah, it is.
But whenever he was going up against Bumblebee and RC, like, you know, I'm back, bitch, time for payback, and he was shooting that resonance blaster at RC and Bumblebee, and he was actually winning. I was cheering him the whole way. I was like, yes, go ahead, kick their ass.
Although afterwards, sadly enough, that resonance blaster was then given to the Soundwave instead of.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care. That it worked.
What?
It worked.
Why? Why you give it back to him?
Well, I mean, I get why they would give him the Resonance Blaster, because in a way it kind of makes sense with his name and how he acts. But, yeah.
Can we all talk about the fight between Wheeljack and Soundwave?
Yes. Oh my god.
That was just.
Beautiful.
That was like almost something you would see in like Samurai Jack.
Yeah.
Like, no pun intended, that is something that you would pretty much see in Samurai Jack. That was such a badass fight scene. I loved how, like, I honestly, like, whenever you hear that clicking noise, whenever the weapons activate and everything, I thought Soundwave's hand transformed into a knife.
He may as well. Those things look like they can cut through butter instantly.
Yeah, his arms are really thin.
Yeah.
He is Slender Wave. We don't question his physique.
Yeah, exactly.
But, I mean, Wheeljack was going ham on him. Like, he was trying to ruin his day so much.
Then, of course, freaking Wheeljack, when he cracks that fucking...
That was badass.
Yeah.
Okay, that was badass. But what he
That was
said...
the only...
What he said was the cherry on top.
There I go again, ruining expectations.
I'm like, you little badass, you.
I think that was almost... I don't know if that was the only time, but I think that was the only time where Soundwave actually got scared of it.
I don't even think he was scared. It's just like he flinched just because his face mask cracked. And also, if anyone was watching very closely, did anyone see the two purple optics peering through the mirror?
Yeah.
Yes.
Soundwave has a face. He's just not showing it. And I love that. I absolutely love that to bits.
Well, I mean, he showed his face. It's just an emoticon.
Emoticon.
Emoticon, whatever.
Yeah, we
love that.
gotta talk about Soundwave trolling the Autobots.
That was
Troll
one of the
them
greatest.
so hard. So
That's
hard.
awesome.
No. It's not even just trolling. When he fucking spoke,
That was freaky.
he talked.
That was.
And that was the best part was that was the old Frank Welker that was originally both
It
Soundwave
has to
and
be.
Megatron.
Frank Welker is originally Soundwave. At best, he was always Soundwave, aside from animated. I mean, he was...
Autobots.
He started from G1. He continued in Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon, and he's, it was obvious he was going to be voicing him in Transformers Prime, because, who else would they get?
Gary Chalk.
It was a rhetorical question, but thank you for your answer.
Well, he gave you a rhetorical answer.
I said thank
Your
you.
rhetoricalness is noted.
But anyway, just when he spoke, like, I had to pause the episode, rewind it while it was still playing live because I had DVR, and I had to watch that scene again because that was so cool.
Dude, my favorite
Chills
character out of
went
all
down
the
my
Transformers.
spine.
Dude, like out of all the characters in any Transformers thing, no joke, is Soundwave. So when Soundwave actually spoke in the one-time episode, I just thought that was just that just made anyone's day, to be honest.
Chills went down my spine when that happened.
Yeah.
My eyes wide and my jaws dropped, and I just like grabbed my remote while staring at the TV. I was like, "Can I watch this again?"
Okay, as much as I would love to continue to go on with all the stuff we love about it, I think we should move on to points in the series that we really didn't like.
Oh, I know the perfect way to start this. The animation errors.
There weren't
Okay.
a whole lot of them.
There were some in the very
Very beginning, yeah, but I'm sure that they fixed that a little bit.
Oh, I mean, not like in the very, very beginning. I'm just saying, you know, it's like in the beginning of season 3, whenever they were first debuting it and everything, how Bumblebee was missing a door and then RC was missing the sides of her motorcycle on her back. That kind of crap kind of bugged me. I'm not saying it was the worst part. I just disliked it because I think they could have, went back and rectified that, unless like they were showing a form of emotion where like, one of Bumblebee's doors was on his back and RC's were on her back or something. And then not even that, but like, you guys remember whenever the Autobots were coordinating attack against Shockwave and the Viacons whenever Optimus came back? And like they all nodded at each other, and then Wheeljack's grabbing his swords, and then like he had like 2 pairs.
Yeah, that's actually kind of dumb. Like, why did you not disarm him?
Yeah.
For someone who's
Because like he took out his swords, and then there were 2 more hilts sticking out of his back.
Yeah.
It was
Let's
just-
be honest.
It was weird.
We all know
Like,
Shockwave as the most logical being in the Transformers universe. That was not the most logical decision he has ever made, as far as I'm aware.
Anyways, moving on from animation errors, please.
filler episodes.
Although I was actually talking about the scene itself, but whatever.
Filler episodes. Just Shadow Zone wasn't really needed to connect to the story.
Shadow Zone, yeah, that kind of was needed to connect to the story.
Not really.
Yes.
Yeah, actually it was.
How?
When they sent Soundwave.
Well, I mean, okay, yeah, that was like all the way towards the end of the series.
So either way, it was necessary.
Not
Because it,
completely,
gave-
but okay.
because it showed us a way for us to beat Soundwave.
At least Soundwave's not alone.
There's also another reason it's necessary. Skyquake's desecration being a driving motive for Dreadwing.
Okay, yeah, I totally forgot about Skyquake because he only showed up for 1 episode.
Yeah,
That's something I hated.
What the fuck? Why would you? Okay, as much as it angered me with Cliffjumper, I could kind of see why they did it. Why
He was voiced
Skyquake?
by a celebrity.
Why Skyquake? What's your fucking excuse for Skyquake? Come on, guys.
Aside from building up a story with Dreadwing, who is essentially just a repaint and Spark Twin, that's honestly the real purpose I can really think of, honestly.
And even then, it would have been cool to see the 2 of them in action.
Yeah, because they did both have individual weapons, and it would have been cool to see them both team up. Like, I could see them go up against the Wreckers pretty easily.
Yeah.
One thing I did not like was remember when the Starscream found all those protoforms in the Harbinger?
Oh, please tell me you're saying you didn't like that.
Well, no, I liked it, but the one thing I actually hoped for to be in that show was the rise of other Seekers, like for instance Thundercracker and Skywarp.
Well, in order for that to happen, they would pretty much have to kind of, find a way to establish that. I mean, because probably those characters already existed. They were probably just KIA during the war for Cybertron.
Or traveling around the universe.
Yeah, that's another thing. But in a way, we did essentially get to have the, different Seekers in a sort of way. Like, towards the end, there was one who was kind of loyal to Starscream, but was also still yet planning on terminating him. And I want to go out on a limb and probably say that was Thundercracker, just because, like, how the characteristics fit.
The fact that we ended up getting a reference to animated with that.
Same. That was cool.
That was awesome.
Steve Bloom probably got paid a lot of money to do all that.
You
Just
better.
like he did in Rise of the Dark
Person
Star.
there is at this point.
At this point, though, I thought it was really cool. I mean, it was an interesting way for Starscream to regain his ability to transform and get his T-Cog back.
Yeah.
Because, honestly, I liked the idea of having Starscream be his own little team, but not loved it. Because he didn't really have a team up until that one episode, and that was honestly it. And then, they're all dead. Megatron killed them, and it's just, he's back to his old self. He's all
Although
by
we never really got the T-Cog from them, I think.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh.
I thought the whole thing of Screamer not being able to transform was pathetic.
Yeah, that taking away his wings was a little bit of an overkill.
Well, it was funny to see him driving around on that little scooter.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was hilarious.
And then Starscream met Dreadwing, and instantly mistaken him for Skyquake. Really, Starscream? You don't know about repaints? Your brothers were them.
I think most of the Transformers are colorblind. You can only see red or blue.
What? Oh, okay, yeah. That also kind of made me a little upset, because, like, how could he, he's like, I know that color scheme. Okay, red and blue. Who one of the Autobots is red and blue? It's Optimus. And Starscream, come on.
Come on, dude. It's red and blue. It's Optimus, dude. Come on, please. Just.
But at
stop
the same time, they were trying to keep it suspenseful.
I know.
Yeah, but
The return of
it's also
Optimus
fun.
Prime, though, was really cool. That was just,
Yeah.
I felt they could have extended it a little bit more.
It's also fun because you think at that point and from the one where he did recognize Dreadwing, it's like, I don't recognize that color scheme. Skyquake? No, you idiot. I recognize that one. Optimus? Duh.
There is one thing I disliked about Season 3, and that is Optimus trying to pretty much say, Smokescreen, you're going to be the next Hot Rod, you can become Smokescreenemus Prime. I wasn't really a fan of that, because Smokescreen literally just showed up not too long ago, and Optimus is already saying, you could be the next leader of the Prime, or the Autobots, and I'm just like, okay. He's staying with you. He's concerned about you. I don't think that really makes him leadership material.
Let me say this, though. We got to give him credit. At least Smokescreen more development than Hot Rod.
Oh, hell yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, dear God, don't get me started on Rodimus. Please don't get me started on Rodimus.
And the icing on the cake was he was voiced by one of my favorite voice actors.
Nolan North.
Yeah.
Also known as Deadpool in Deadpool video games.
And Nathan Drake from my favorite video game franchise, Uncharted. I can't wait to get the fourth one.
Yes.
I am not a fan of Uncharted. Anyways.
You go die in a Holden.
I already tried. Work out so well.
Anyway.
I also think he voiced characters in the Revenge of the Fallen game. But anyway.
May
What
have.
else was... Oh. There was also one thing I disliked a little bit. And that was the whole merging Silas with Breakdown's dead Marcus.
God.
That was cool.
It was cool, but at the same
It
time,
was
it's
freaky.
it was weird. It was creepy. I don't understand the way he was able to make the the movements of Breakdown's body function properly because they only introduced Mech in episode 9 of season 9. And
Yeah,
that's when they first
Convoy.
knew about Transformers, and they were starting to learn about them, and, then Breakdown came, and I guess they learned a bit more. So I guess specifically it makes sense that Mech was able to, learn about Breakdown. But just seeing that sort of thing happen was completely different and weird and unique, but ultimately it was just flat out creepy to see Silas be in Breakdown's body.
It was certainly not surprising to Reckoning when you tore him up again.
Now that's what I call necrophilia.
Yeah.
But I just thought some. Well, they never explain it because unexplainable things to be unexplained. But how did he do the transformations without his body being torn up from inside? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
Well, then again,
there's so much about that that just didn't make sense to me.
Like
then
suddenly
again,
he was like, let's go with the episode where they see him in the what was it, the driver's seat or passenger seat? Either way, he was in the seat. He had the roll the window down. He's like, "Let me in." He's like, "Oh, okay, that's you. Yeah, okay, go ahead." And then all of a sudden, he's in Breakdown's chest. How did he do that without breaking his own neck or something?
well, essentially, the way that a Transformer alters, their modes, either the front of the vehicle or the back of the vehicle becomes the head section. And essentially, whereas Breakdown's front portion of his vehicle mode is his upper chest area, it would sort of make sense to see that Silas was unharmed, much like in the way where how Sam from Transformers: Dark of the Moon was not harmed whenever Bumblebee was transforming while he was holding him.
Or Optimus with Fowler.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
I'd like to get one really big complaint out of the way.
What?
Plot holes.
So many.
Too much.
For example, what happened to Arachnid after she went onto the moon?
Yeah, that was the only one that really bugged me though.
And then she
Oh,
showed
that
up
was-
with robots in the sky. Wait, what?
Yeah, I was
No
going to say
shit.
that too. She didn't really show up. It was just a
No, I
recolored
know.
version
I'm making
of
a joke
Arachnid.
because people think it's
I know.
Arachnid.
Still
I find
cool
it
though.
funny. I'm calling her Black Arachnia, though.
Yeah, she's not black, so it's not Black Arachnia.
Well, you get
Colors.
the original Black Arachnia wasn't black either. Not totally.
No, but she was a
Yeah.
Black Widow spider.
But either way, that's not the only plot hole. The other plot hole is what exactly? When did Shockwave and Starscream start on the Predacons, like Darksteel and Skylynx?
During the movie, yeah.
Probably, most likely,
They
during
must have
the
been- they
years.
must have thought of-
Well, how long did it take? How long time-wise between the final episode of the third season and the movie take place?
There was no
I don't think it was
specification.
that long.
So then we could
Yeah, I don't
obviously assume that it was some time after, the war on Earth was won, after,
Yeah.
Megatron died. So it's, pretty clear that it took some time for Starscream and Shockwave to, make Darksteel and Skylynx. So
Yeah, although I'm sure it wasn't hard to find the bodies or at least the bones, because
I mean, no, honestly, it probably wasn't because we've seen diagrams of these characters. We saw whenever Predaking picked up that dead Predacon's eye, we saw Skystalker, and Skystalker is just a repaint of, Skylynx.
Or
And
was Sky Stalker?
Regardless, it's just a flat. Don't play this game on a live stream.
Here's
Predacon
something
eye.
else I want to get out of the way.
Before, if I could kindly just make an honorable mention real quick. Mr. MK Former W1N brought up a point where the inside of Bulk's head vehicle mode was in his chest because Miko talked about the floor mats when she hid in there. So obviously there's like a hollowness into their robot bodies. So,
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
because, I mean, even with Wheeljack, too, like, Miko hid inside there.
Yeah.
So, obviously,
You
there's, like, some
derailed my
hollowness.
train of thought for that.
What?
You derailed my train of thought for that.
It was just an honorable mention from the topic we were discussing.
Yeah, but you derailed Astro Train. No one derails Astro Train.
Exactly.
Okay, so bearing all
Alright.
this in mind, let's move on to what we would have done different.
That leads me into what I was gonna mention actually.
Yeah.
The fused form between Megatron and Unicron. I would have called that Galvatron. That pretty much was Transformers Prime Galvatron.
Essentially, yeah, because, I mean,
Yeah.
Galvatron was made from Unicron, therefore that body,
Is
despite it being Unicron taking over Megatron's body,
Smoke
it's
screen.
Galvatron.
don't
Let's
get around it. It's Galvatron. I'm sorry, it's Galvatron.
It's honestly Galvatron. Or, as the book says for the Art of Prime, it's Megatron 2.0, like Optimus 2.0, so...
Well, let's not forget, Smokescreen did say, what should we name him? Galvatron?
No, he said Megacron or Unitron.
I swear he said Galvatron in some point.
No, he never said Galvatron.
That would have been so awesome if he did say that, though. And
I don't see why they didn't take that opportunity to make that reference. That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, here's something that I would have done differently. With Bulkhead being incapacitated, instead of doing this whole Wheeljack is angry and wants to get his vengeance, and then having Miko tag along, because let's face it, I don't like Miko. I never did.
Yeah.
Never will. Bearing that in mind, let's move on. I would have done something where, instead of Wheeljack going to get the revenge out himself, he would recognize that, he's the big guy and someone tagged him. I'm going to need big gun backup. And since we saw designs for him, that would have been a perfect way to bring in Ironhide.
Yeah.
That honestly would have.
That would have been an absolutely brilliant way to bring Ironhide in. And let's face it, I think we all wanted to see Ironhide in this. What he would have looked like, what he would have sounded like, what he would have done, what weapons he had, what he could actually do.
Well, essentially, you do get a look at him whenever you watch the Transformers Universe game trailer. That's pretty much essentially Transformers Prime Ironhide.
There's also something else worth noting. Bulkhead was actually originally going to be named Ironhide.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, he's named Ironhide in Japan.
In animated, he was named Ironhide in Japan. Not with Transformers Prime. In Transformers Prime, and Japan recognized him as Bulkhead.
Yeah.
But in Prime, for the English dub, he was going to be called Ironhide.
But at the same time, with how he looked, I can kind of understand why people would have raged and bitched about it. So I'm definitely glad they changed it to Bulkhead. And plus,
Look at what happened with Hound.
And plus, Bulkhead love.
Not only that, but Transformers Prime's team was pretty much an essential reference to animated as well, because we had a truck, we had a motorcycle, we had an ambulance, we had a big, heavy vehicle, and then we had the muscle car.
Hey guys, I just thought of something.
Huh?
You guys all remember the Transformer character, Hound, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does anyone else know? Does anyone else realize the comparison between Vulcan and Hound?
Honestly, bearing that in mind, because I know you're trying to get into some kind of Age of Extinction thing, which we will do this in a separate video, but I will definitely touch back. I have enough reason to believe Hound was entirely meant to be Bulkhead, but for God knows whatever reason, either Hasbro or Michael Bay decided, since he saw the name, saw that it was an army vehicle, saw Hound was an army vehicle, and went, okay, name him Hound.
I actually meant the original Hound, not the Fatso in Transformers 4.
See what happens when you don't let people finish?
Yeah.
My show, do what I want. Anyway.
Then give you a right to be... Never mind.
But yeah, I was thinking of the original Hound, because let's think about it. A, in Prime and whatever series you can get Hound in, they were both Jeeps. They both had the same exact color scheme. And what else? What else?
Well, they weren't like close Jeeps. Like Bulkhead was
I got
more.
something else.
Not the same Jeep, of course, but yeah.
No, but I
I
mean,
got
Bulkhead
something
was
else.
more essentially like an SUV. Anyway, what were you saying?
Both voice actors for Bulkhead and Hound had at some point worked on something for Disney.
Really?
Yeah, that's right.
Sully and
Oh yeah. Wait, what? Wrong
Whatever the
guy.
big guy's name was in The Emperor's New Groove.
Pacha.
Okay, and then Captain Gandu.
I don't know.
yes. Okay. Yep. All right. Yep. I see where you're going with this. Yep.
It's bad
But I
that
meant
you
Ken
guys were still
Sansom.
going with the fat one.
But I mean
So anyway-
Ken Sansom. Listen, I meant Ken Sansom. He was Rabbit in Winnie the Pooh.
Really? That's funny.
All right. So, anyways, moving on. Here's another thing that I honestly would have done, like, not done differently, but something I would have done in general. I would have brought on a combiner.
Yeah.
You guys remember?
At this point, I'm pretty sure, like, with all the hype that the combiners were getting just from the third parties alone, why didn't anybody on the design team for Transformers Prime think throw in a combiner?
Well, does anybody remember back in during season's 2 premiere time? Well, not the time, but when it was about to be debuted, there was a rumor that Devastator was going to be showing up in season 2, and everyone essentially thought, oh, it's that one Decepticon who was shown in the trailer for like a few seconds and had a red visor. It turned out to be an Insecticon.
I guess I heard a different rumor because I heard something similar, but instead of it being Devastator, Megatron had like some sort of folder called Project Manosaur or something like that.
Well, regardless, there was rumors going around that time where they essentially thought, "Oh, did you guys hear combiners are going to be in? A combiner is going to be joining Transformers Prime." And I'm over
We got
here
a
thinking,
combiner in the
how is
toy
that really going to work? Essentially, because it already takes a lot of money for them to really make this whole animation series like out of pure CG, especially of this one of smoothness and great quality. It would have probably cost them a little small, probably a small minor portion to essentially
Which was
make
why
a
they got-
combiner.
Which was probably why they had to go with straight up one character with a combiner name, Heretic King.
And I'm okay with that because at least they're still establishing that, Predator King is essentially the king of the Predacons. He is the ultimate one, which is also kind of a throwback to the, combiner. Just
We
something
got
I
a
like.
combiner in the toy line, though.
Yeah,
True,
Abominus, but it's
Yeah, but that's a toy. I'm talking in the actual show itself. We're not talking about the toys. Again, that's
I was talking about the toys, to be honest.
well, we're
Not
gonna
the
go.
toys. Meant the show. Sorry, I'm tired. Ugh.
Go to bed.
No, I'm good. But anyway, yeah, I was talking about the show. Like, it was gonna be it's a big budget. Even if they wanted to make something more, it's just they had to find a way to pull out the money somewhere. And essentially, I don't see how it would be possible for them to really defeat a combiner because
Okay, well, see, here's the thing. That's what this subject is. Okay, bearing in mind budget issues and everything, we're not really going into that. We're going into what we would have done if it were in our hands. And that's why I'm saying if it was up to me, I would have thrown in a combiner somewhere.
I would have taken out Raph.
I would have taken out Miko.
I would have kept her. I like her. She was different.
No, she's annoying as hell. No.
In your opinion, that's yours,
Yeah, just
not everyone else's.
No, Miko's done. Out. Get her out of here. No, done. Send her back to Japan.
Fatality.
Okay, that's racist.
Dude, she said it herself. She comes from Japan.
I know, but still, that's even... You're a white man saying that.
Oh, for the love of fucking God. Get over yourself.
Anyway,
God, you're really
let me explain something here. Why I'd take out Raph. He understood Bumblebee, and he hacked into things. But he was pretty much useless. I thought he was going to be the surprise death of Season 2 rather than Dreadwing, to be honest.
I'm still waiting for him to make a Transformer.
Yeah, but at the same time, I can see how the death of a human would have been devastating just for kids to see. So they ended up deciding, okay, make a Dreadwing.
How is it horrifying when you have drones being ripped to pieces, like arms being slashed off, shot through the spark?
Kids understand. They're robots. The robots.
It's still
They're
death.
meant to sell toys.
They're
not going to care if it's the robot, but if it's the human, oh dear fucking God.
It's still death. The element of death is still there.
Besides, how many humans got hurt in Convoy?
Okay.
Several.
Bearing in mind,
But those were enemies. Those were enemies. They
we've
were ones
seen
trying to oppose against the
these
Autobots.
Neocons getting the ever-loving hell beaten out of them. No one cares. Why? Because they're blasted fodder. When one of the other main characters died, well, yes, it was explained and proclaimed that they died. Did the kids really care? We did. I know for a fact we did. I wanted to burst into tears when Dreadwing died. Dear Lord, that was my boy.
Isn't everyone your boy?
Oh, you're one to talk. Anyways, moving on.
Dang.
Moving on.
I want to send some art to you because these were going to be potential designs and also fan art, I think. But I think they were going to be potential designs, so let me send these to you via the books of faces.
I will.
Things that actually made us cry.
Wait, what?
Scenes
What's
that
this scene that-
make us cry.
I'm gonna say this right off the bat. Bumblebee dying.
I knew
was
he was going to
happy.
come back. I didn't care. I'm just like, oh, it's Bumblebee. He died in Fall of Cybertron. It's continuity. Not really, but still. It's Bumblebee. I mean, come on. He almost died in Dark of the Moon. He
He dies almost all the time in those movies. Are you kidding me?
He almost died in G1. Almost was digested by
Yeah.
Unicron's enzymes.
I want to say this, okay? You people can call me heartless all you want. I was happy when I saw Bumblebee get shot down.
I don't care. That was awesome as fuck. Like how he just comes out with a Star Saber. He's like, Optimus, I'm here. Megatron comes out of nowhere.
But the moment that broke me was the ending. I didn't want the series to end.
It shouldn't have. We should have gotten a season 4, much like Transformers Animated.
But I mean,
Yeah.
like, even though I knew that it was going to end, I was on Prehistoric News at the time. I reported that it was going to end, and even though I knew that, I still broke a little because I didn't want it to end.
It was a
I'm sure-
fantastic series.
I will admit this right now. As much as I hate Miko, as much as I hate her, the ending part for her broke my heart. Dear God, why, you little annoying shit? Why you do this?
Because she's Miko and she's adorable.
She is not adorable. She is annoying as hell.
Shut up,
I
she's
will never-
adorable.
She's not adorable. So,
She's practically a reference to Sorry from Transformers Animated, keep in mind.
Sorry's likable.
And she's voiced by Tara Strong.
Of course.
Yes, and that.
Although Tanya Gunadai did a pretty good job with Miko.
You know what's funny?
Oh, yeah.
I saw Tanya Gennady in a commercial one time. I heard her voice, I'm like, Miko!
I'm going to tell you something about her after this video that you might find interesting.
I don't know, I'm sending you those designs now, by the way, but these were potential for Transformers Prime. Again, this may be fan art. If so, we don't own the rights or anything. The fans are, respected to own these. But yeah, these were possibly, I mean, the ones that are obviously confirmed have the Transformers Prime logo, like Orion Pax and Ironhide.
They also have the trademark logo right next to the name.
But I mean,
Okay,
these
yeah.
other fan arts, these other pieces
I
of
am-
art, I could have seen these designs work in the series so well. Like, when we saw Smokescreen, I essentially thought it was either going to be Jazz or Mirage.
I was hoping it was Jazz.
Me too, because I saw the blue chest, and I'm like, oh my god, please be Jazz.
Yeah, and then we ended up finding out our smoke screen, and we're like, who?
What was this guy again?
Wait, what
I
was
was
his name?
happy. I was happy it was Smokescreen, but I was hoping and praying it was Jazz.
I thought it would be, because we didn't even get to see him all that much, but I am happy to hell that it is Smokescreen, and it's not some Autobot who has the ability to make a smoke screen out of his exhaust in vehicle mode,
So everybody,
because
please pay attention to the screen share.
Holy crap, that looks beautiful.
this
I saw
this is one of the things that I really enjoyed seeing when Transformers Prime was going. Fan art like this just makes me wish this show was continuing, because these designs would have worked so well in the series. And obviously,
That Mirage
hello,
is gorgeous.
Mr. Frank Welker could be voicing Mirage like he did in G1.
Oh wow! Look at
Yeah.
that Orion Pax. Holy crap!
I can definitely see how this takes a lot of cues from the
From the
IDW
Generations toy. And the
just with the
IDW.
IDW design altogether. This takes a lot of cues from that.
I
That
would
looks amazing.
Loved to seen this.
Oh, yeah,
Loved to seen this. I
That's
clicked on a
alright.
cat video.
Okay. Oh.
Okay,
Ironhide.
essentially,
Ironhide.
Returning to my original thing, or one of the things I already said. Why didn't this happen?
because it didn't happen in animated. Because I
Plus
was
the
going to join.
arms.
I do not give a fuck what their excuse was. This should have happened. This
If it
should
makes
have
you-
happened.
Well, I can only say one thing. Copyright for one thing. The arm cannons.
That's not essentially copyright. I mean, it was used in Michael Bay, and keep in mind, this whole series took a lot of inspiration from the movies.
This was very interesting.
Yeah.
I saw this floating around myself, and honestly, I would have been perfectly okay if this was Shockwave.
No, but we
I
get
was
this
fine.
giant hulking brute, and I'm over here just like, yes.
I like the hulking one, so I feel this is. I feel that
Yeah,
one is
but
better.
honestly, just the sheer fact that, entirely because of the fact that, Soundwave, Shockwave, it made sense why they would go with something like this. But at the same time, I'm glad they went with the design they did, where he's just this big, burly motherfucker. Like this, I could gush all day about the Shockwave design for Transformers Prime. It looks awesome.
Hold on, I gotta mute my mic for a quick second.
Blur.
And Blur, dear Lord,
Why didn't this happen? Huh? Why didn't it happen?
like a freaking right there.
It's essentially a
A nod to animated.
a reference to animated because of the feet and just because he just looks good. I mean,
Yeah.
He was
Did everyone else also see the fan art pictures of Elita 1 being in it?
yeah, I did, and I wanted that too. I thought it would have worked a lot better, but then again, it didn't happen.
Oh, don't worry. They got Elita 1. You just have to see her as a bad guy now.
I'm not sure how I feel about
That's
that.
messed up.
So, anyways,
Already.
But I mean, there are some really talented people on the internet making all this fan art, and someone actually made a full CGI render of what Elita 1 would look like and what she transforms into, and good God, it's
Beautiful.
almost to be convinced like it was in the real show. Like, I'm gonna send this. I don't know if, again, I don't own this or anything. But I'm gonna send this to you, Josh, just because you're the only one that's open on my chat right now. But yeah, this was made by a fan, and good God, do they have talent?
Holy hell, yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. That's interesting. Yeah,
Show
give me a
us.
minute.
There is also a full-length video of someone altering the Transformers Prime intro. There's also someone
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah, someone made this, altered the original intro with
Yeah, they're
RC, and they used this model and showed her transformation and everything. And
I
it
wouldn't
is,
care the voice
Holy.
actress.
it is gorgeous.
I would
Whoever
love to
did
hear the
this-
voice actress.
This is brilliantly done.
Whoever did this,
That's gorgeous.
whoever makes it this big in their future for a career like this, do a official sequel series to Transformers Prime and bring her in this,
Please.
because this is fantastic work.
Well, let's to be honest, you pretty much at this point you have to say trequel because they're saying already, you know.
I know, but I can't really count it as that. I mean, yeah, they make references about a Transformers Prime, but I mean, I can't call Robots in Disguise a Prime sequel.
You know, it's stupid.
Anyways, moving on.
Yes,
To kind of bring all this to a close, what is, from left to right, what is our final verdict as far as Transformers Prime as a whole? Starting with Aldo. Your final thoughts, your final verdict. How was it? What did you think? Everything.
I love the series as a whole, but two things that really nag at me are A, the fact that Unicronian Megatron wasn't called Galvatron because it should have happened, and why didn't we get more fights with Optimus and Megatron? The ones that we got were amazing enough. Why didn't we get any more? But overall, I give it a solid 9 out of 10.
Okay. Michael? TFA 1024?
Essentially, for my main thoughts on Transformers Prime, I saw this to be a series that didn't even feel like a series. This thing was a full-out cinematic masterpiece. Despite it having its flaws with animation or plot holes of the story, I found that the characters were portrayed very close to heart. I found the stories to be both intriguing, interesting, and leaving many questions left unanswered. And I love how they found a way to bring it all together in the very end, because it takes a lot of work to do something like that, to make all these several mini-stories, to connect them to make a big picture. And I admire the creators for Transformers Prime for making this beautiful series. And it pains me to say it, but I'm really sad to see it go, despite Robots in Disguise happening, and that's supposed to be the official sequel. I would have loved to see a Season 4. I would have loved to see more characters. I would have loved to see the history behind Bulkhead and RC and Bumblebee more. I would have loved to see Sea Spray because in the special effects, or not special effects, the behind the scenes stuff and on the DVDs, someone at a Comic-Con confirmed that Sea Spray was not dead.
Yeah, whatever happened to old Barnacle Butt?
As far as everything goes, though, I give it a 10 out of 10. Cinematic masterpiece, and again, it's just really sad to see it go. One of my all-time favorite Transformers series. It was just beautiful. The artistry, the portrayals of characters, just everything.
You done?
Yep.
Alright. Thrust? Go.
I absolutely loved it because, like, I've always been a Transformers fan, and having been lost to Transformers for a while and seeing Transformers Prime got me back into it. And after seeing, like, you know, going through it all and seeing all this stuff, I loved it because so far as I'm aware of the shows I've watched, Transformers Prime was the only thing that made my jaw drop twice. From the ending of the show to the ending of the movie. With like, you know, with Megatron basically saying, "I quit being leading the Decepticons," and Bumblebee stabbing Megatron right through the heart. That was just truly amazing. to me. So I would say, even though I'm pretty much just fanboying about this, 9.5 out of 10 would watch again.
Okay, so now moving on to me, who I definitely do think is probably the most critical about TV shows, movies, and all, and basically, toy reviews and such. Yes, I'm an extremely critical person. Transformers Prime. This hit me straight at home for many reasons, and I will definitely say that with what we got out of this series, what did we get? We ended up with a solid cast, despite how I feel about Miko. A solid backstory, despite how I feel about Miko.
Okay, we get it. Just
And
Get it.
overall, I love the idea they went with for the designs, where it was clearly taking the CG animation that was Beast Wars, fine-tuning it, taking the design cues of animated, and mixing it with the movies, and when you put it all together, you had this brilliant setup for the design. Just Bulkhead looked fantastic. RC looked fantastic. Despite how I felt about his character, Bumblebee looked fantastic.
Yeah, he did.
he looked amazing.
For a second, I thought you were going to take Ratchet.
And just to top it all off, they gave us characters that at first you wouldn't think we would give a shit about them. And then, as the series kind of went on, you went, ooh! And just prime example, pun intended, Dreadwing. No one really expected him to be much of a character at all, and he blew us away.
Tony Stark, Voice of the Fallen, he was perfect for that role.
Again, another pun. And honestly, the biggest shocker for me, and probably just my all-time favorite character in the show, fucking Wheeljack. Come on.
Is it just because Jackie?
No, this is not because Jackie, because he was the only Autobot we saw in this series be the biggest fucking loner badass we have ever seen in our lives.
You know, essentially,
And plus, he's the only Autobot that we see in this series go toe-to-toe with Soundwave.
Yeah.
Who we know is the freaking Decepticon ultimate badass. The quiet badass. And if that would have kept going, I can guarantee you Wheeljack would have won that fight.
And let's also not forget, the only other Autobot that can stand up to Ultra Magnus.
Yes.
No. Okay, he's the only other Autobot that had the stones to step up to Magnus like that. The only other Autobot that had the stones to do it.
Well, this is Transformers Prime, so therefore he's the only one that can do it, that did it, so...
Bulkhead could have, but he just decided not to. Like, he was pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, just... Again, despite how I feel about Miko, despite how I feel about Wheeljack, despite how I feel about plot holes and what things I could have done, I wish would have happened, and what I would have done, how I could have improved the series, all in all, Transformers Prime easily gets the BC seal of approval with a solid 9.9 out of 10. It has its flaws. I will definitely admit that. It has its plot points. I will admit that. But all around, Transformers Prime, you can't lie when you say it was not fantastic. And plus, come on, bearing all that in mind, it's better than Energon.
Oh, big time.
And we all know how much of a shitstorm that was. So anyways, with all this said, guys, we have taken up enough of your time. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Starting from left to right, begin to sign out, guys. Aladar?
Hey, this is Aladar, and I say sometimes the smallest thing can make the biggest changes of all. What change will you make?
Michael?
Just 1 second.
Tick tock, tick tock.
Okay. As far as everything else goes, being here on a TV show review was pretty interesting. Hope to continue doing so, as long as the show appeals to me. As far as everything else goes, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. Please be sure to hit me up on my channel, and if you're new to the channel, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, because that is the only channel where your entertainment will be transformed. And, of course, my fellow addicts, please remember until next time to get addicted, stay addicted, and of course TF Addicts for life. And that I recommend, so you can decide. This is TFA 1024, the Transformers Addict, rolling out. Peace.
And for us?
I don't have an end call, so I'm just going to say bye.
We'll work on one for you, and we'll definitely get you used to this kind of thing.
Yeah.
But finally, moving on. Look forward to more reviews, because I'm finally getting around to doing them again. Look forward to more TV with BC. I'm finally getting this back up. Look forward to the big return of BC Direct. And also, look forward to around June. Because I'm about to take the Transformers universe, and I'm about to show you what I plan to do with it.
It's
And,
going to change
let's
drastically.
Let's not forget.
That's what to change.
Goddamn mind. With all this said, guys, this is DC saying stay dirty and get your geek on. I will catch you guys next time.
Wait!
Bye.